Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a concept that literally made me rethink all the daily friction in my life. Have you ever wondered why life can feel just overwhelmingly frustrating, even when, on paper, everything is totally fine? Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to explore the profound philosophy of the mastery of self-imposed struggle, which is basically a deep dive into why making your life intentionally harder might actually be the ultimate secret to making it profoundly easier.
Seriously, think about your day-to-day life for a second. Why is it that we trip up on the absolute minutest irritations? Think about the last time you completely lost your cool. Was it a genuine five-alarm crisis? Or was it an agonizingly slow internet connection? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or a coworker took just a little too long to reply to an email. Why on earth do we react so intensely to these completely trivial anomalies? Well, to figure out this baffling behavior, we actually have to look back at where we came from.
Section 1. The Modern Comfort Paradox. To really grasp why we snap over a spilled cup of coffee, we've got to look at the evolutionary gap between our ancestors' lives and our own incredibly comfortable ones. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole biological expectation versus modern reality issue. Think about what our forefathers had to endure just to see another day. Hunting for food, fending off wild animal attacks, prepping for tribal warfare, and surviving brutal natural forces. These daily battles made them ridiculously durable, but more importantly, overcoming those massive hurdles gave their brains a huge organic reward, the thrill of actual survival. Now contrast that with our modern reality. Most of us, thankfully, don't face daily physical danger. We aren't outrunning predators to secure our lunch. We are comfortable. The closest thing we get to a life-or-death hunt is waiting for the microwave to hit 0 so it doesn't wake up the whole house. But because we're so comfortable, we have entirely lost that organic survival reward. We are literally walking around with ancient brains expecting a fight that just never comes.
Section 2. Craving conflict in secret. Because that biological expectation hasn't changed at all, we've developed a pretty dangerous habit. When the external world doesn't give us a dragon to slay, a very real, growing problem begins to take shape inside of us. If we aren't engaging in positive self-development conflicts, where does all that survival drive go? It turns into unreleased energy. When we lack a certain amount of natural pain, conflict, and pressure over time, we just build up this negative energy inside. We unknowingly crave struggle, just to have an excuse to unpack ourselves. Your brain is essentially revving its engine while stuck in park.
And because that engine needs to go somewhere, our subconscious minds get incredibly crafty. This is exactly where those trivial anomalies we talked about earlier come from. We inadvertently start instigating pointless conflicts with our colleagues, or worse, we find ourselves creating trouble in our personal relationships, picking fights with the people we love most over absolutely nothing. Basically, we are manufacturing fake petty drama simply because we lack genuine, purposeful struggle.
Section 3. Designing your own struggle.
But hey, here's the good news. Instead of letting our subconscious cook up destructive drama, we can take the wheel. The ultimate solution to this is the self-imposed struggle. This means consciously choosing activities that intentionally put pressure on you. By deliberately taking on difficult tasks, you're actively satisfying your brain's ancient expectation to overcome hard challenges daily. You give yourself that organic feeling of reward. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that when you master these internal self-imposed challenges, you perfectly position yourself to handle the uncontrollable external pressures of life. You are literally building emotional armor.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Here are some fantastic examples of positive daily struggles. It's waking up early at 5 a.m. when your body is aggressively resisting and just begging for comfort. It's intense gym training, pushing through a high-end routine where you are absolutely gasping for breath. It's stepping onto a treadmill, cranking that incline way up, and running until you feel like you have to quit every single second. Imagine that physical exertion literally squeezing out all the excess energy and angst your body is holding on to. But it's mental too. It's doing the hard work of daily reading, journaling, or engaging in deep introspection in complete solitude.
Actually, let's slow down a second and look a bit closer at that last one, because honestly, it might be the hardest struggle of all, the harsh truths of solitude. In our modern world, we are constantly hammered by a massive barrage of news, information, and notifications demanding our attention. When you deliberately escape those distractions and isolate yourself, your brain does something weird. It forces you to dig deep into your past actions. You suddenly find yourself confronting moments where maybe you lacked authenticity, showed immaturity, or exhibited mean behavior you thought you had buried long ago. Acknowledging those truths is incredibly painful, but pushing through that specific struggle is the only way to genuinely realign yourself.
Section 4. confronting the inner saboteur. Of course, embarking on any of these struggles, whether it's the 5 a.m. alarm, the brutal treadmill, or the quiet solitude of facing your flaws, is not going to be a smooth ride. You are going to face massive, inevitable pushback from your own mind. Let's move to and see how this builds into a highly predictable psychological pattern that happens to almost everyone trying to transform their life. Step 1. You start a healthy, hard activity. Step 2. Inevitably, things get tough and you hit a pain point. Step 3. Right on cue, your brain frantically searches for any validation to give up and protect you from the discomfort. And step 4. If you listen to it, you fall right back into your normal, mediocre, predictable life. Recognizing this pattern is half the battle.
Let's expose some of those sneaky validations right now. When you hit that pain point, your brain will whisper total nonsense to you. It'll ask, "Why am I even doing this?" Or remind you, "I tried this in the past and it didn't work." It might even attack your self-worth, throwing out things like, "I do not deserve this," or "I'm not good enough to stick to this plan," or "Why go through the trouble if I might not get the expected results?" Listen to me. These are completely normal, nonsense, self-limiting beliefs. Having these thoughts doesn't mean you are failing. It's just a biological reaction to pain. You must expect them, be mindful of them, and then firmly say no to them.
Section 5. The ultimate reward.
If you can push through that inner saboteur, if you can truly commit to doing hard things and mastering your internal world, the payoff at the end of this journey is extraordinary. The ultimate reward is unshakable self-confidence. When you consistently embrace discipline, doing what must be done regardless of your personal situation or excuses, you forge a profound belief in yourself. Consistently doing hard stuff daily completely trivializes the other conflicts and frustrations in your life. Why? Because when real adversity strikes, you already know you can handle it. You know you can handle it because you've proven to yourself every single morning that you never let the situation or your limiting thoughts control you. You do what is right, you resist negative temptations, and you realize you have what it takes to be an achiever.
So the crucial point is this singular truth. You better create your own struggle, else you would suffer forced struggle. If you don't intentionally choose the pain of discipline, the pain of the gym, the pain of deep self-reflection, the chaotic, external world will happily impose its own uncontrollable struggles upon you. By mastering your self-imposed struggle, you become the absolute author of your own resilience.
Which leaves us here. It's time to take immediate control of your internal world so that you are ultimately prepared for the external one. So what struggle will you choose today? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. I really hope this sparked some curiosity and gave you a powerful new tool for your daily life. Until next time, embrace the hard things and take care.